So I saw him come off the hill. Well, when I'd been in that crown of thorns, when I'd come off the face of it to the saddle where I was sitting, I'd turned my scope up to 9 because I thought I saw a deer down in there, and I was scoping,
And you
trying to
forgot.
forgot,
Yeah.
left that scope on 9. So he comes off with following the doe, not chasing her, but just they had bumped them that time, and I think they said, okay, enough is enough. It was cool enough now. I think they were getting out of dodge. They'd been bumped one too many times. Well, they hit that trail I was standing on, and that doe turned and came right straight at me, to the point I don't know exactly where she went, but I always told my buddies I felt like I almost stepped out of the trail to let her go by, and I watched her. I wasn't taking my eyes off of him. Well, he came around, and we locked eyes. And when we locked eyes, I would say he was no more than 5 or 6 steps away.
Oh my
And he kind of like put the brakes on a little bit, like, what are you, you know? So I pull up to shoot, can't see anything. You can't even see, the scope is on 9 power, and he's so close I can't tell what I'm aiming at. Well, at that time, he turned, and there was a blowdown there, and he bounded over top this blowdown. So you have a 200-pound buck at 5 yards bounding over top of a blowdown. Panic set in quickly. I swung, and this is all in the matter of a split second. It probably was 2 seconds long, but I still remember I dropped my gun down because I had just recently put the Illuma caps on my scope, and I had put those down in that spruce too because it was so thick and I didn't want to tear it up. My first thought was I left my scope cap down. I'm capped out. So I was going to open them. Well, when I dropped the gun, I could see they were open, and it immediately clicked. You left your scope on 9 power.
Isn't it amazing how many thoughts
That
go
quickly.
through your head? The human mind and brain are amazing.
Fast. Yeah. Well, then it's automatically, these guys are never going to let me live this down.
I got to let lead fly.
Yeah, so
point and shoot.
well, he hit at the top of the bank, and it kind of dropped off pretty steep behind me down into this little bowl. He hit at the top of the bank, and he went to take one more down over there, and I said, this is my only chance, because I knew I was never – it was so thick, if he got out into there, I didn't feel I'd have a good chance to get him. So I swung, and I rolled my gun over, and I looked down the side of the barrel and just put it on body and let it – well, I ended up hitting him in the side of the neck, and he piled right to the bottom. It hit him, and it must have deadened him in air, and he just went limp and went down over the bank and piled right into the bottom. And the feeling of relief was almost unbearable.
Yeah.